Check now.
I just want to ask, who do you propose is to decide what is morally good for all of us? Is it the government? Is that what you're asking? If the government decide for everybody what is morally good?
I'm sorry, but that's been said by Clement, who's a lawyer here, that constitutionally, this body is here to help us. I don't know how we can interpret that anymore.
We were talking in legal aspects, but you bring in moral aspects. So are we now asking the government to decide what is morally good for our people, and not so much with our rights?
I don't want to dominate the floor, but anybody want to speak, please?
Go ahead, Tim. You can please speak into the mic because our session is being recorded for future references.
I probably won't be able to respond adequately to what Ms. Patino said, but I'd like to say this, that while we are responsible, maybe legally, morally, we are driven, and that drives much of our responsibility. And I guess that's all I would be able to say with regard to that. Even though this is a legal issue, I think the government have a responsibility to protect the people. Whether it is moral, legal, I think it combines both, and probably hard to separate them.
Thank you.
There was a question I wanted to ask, if that is clear.
Well, that's what I was wondering. You want to say something before?
Yes, my question is this. Is the leases that's been signed legal? Is it legal for ETG to sign leases with landowners at this time before we have a master plan and before reviews of a master plan is made? Is it legal at this point to take on leases?
Thank you. That's a valid
Thank you.
question. Any comments on that? Anybody else who want to comment on what the go ahead. What do you think? Elsie, Legal Counsel of the Legislature.
Thank you, Chairman. I will try to address the issues raised here, but I think the main issue is whether or not the Committee on Resources, Education and Development of the Legislature has the authority to review the template, the land release template between ETG and a landowner. The short answer is yes. The committee is within its full authority to review the template. The template is one of the results of the investment agreement which was signed between the government and the ETG. That brings in the government. The government, as Tim stated, has the responsibility to protect the people. That's a constitutional mandate, a Yap State Constitution. The legislature doesn't have a choice but to look after its people. The other question that Tim raised was whether or not the lease agreement as signed, if it's in any way similar to the template before the committee. I don't want to misadvise anyone, but legally, if a person or anybody is to make an offer, it has to be in compliance with law. The offer, the template, is in no way in compliance with state recognized law. The landowners who may have signed the lease agreement, they can check with legal services. I think, and I stand to be corrected by the directing attorney of MLSC, but I think that as a landowner who may have signed the lease agreement, rather than to, well, I don't see the basis for challenging any other YAPs, but definitely again challenging ETG. And in my opinion, and of course this is my opinion, legal services is funded by the state government to provide legal services in that type of situation. The people of Yap against others who are not Yapis. I think that there may be still uncertainty in the minds of some of us as to the authority of the committee to hold a public hearing on this template. And I just want to read from the rules of procedure of the legislature, which created the Committee on Resources, Education and Development. And that committee shall be composed of 3 members and shall consider bills, resolutions, and other matters relating to economic planning and policies, private and public investments, commerce and trade, agriculture, fisheries, tourism, forestry, mineral resources, land management, industries, public utilities, communications, transportation, labor, education, and youth. Almost the entire template is within the jurisdiction of the Committee on Resources, Education and Development. The Constitution mandates that the government protects the natural resources of the state. Land, if not the most important, is the resources of the state. There has been an issue on, and Chairman, may I continue?
Okay.
There is an issue as to, at least I have the impression that there is an issue that the government should fund legal services for private landowners who may want to lease their land to ETG. Unfortunately, the Constitution of the State of Yap requires that public funds must be used for a public purpose. What is a public purpose? A public purpose is a purpose that benefits all, not an individual landowner. I think there may be a question as to whether or not the template is really a public document for the legislature to review or a private matter. The template, as what it is, a template, it's a form, is proposed by ETG. Whether or not ETG uses it to have a landowner sign, the fact of the matter is it's an offer to any, that applies to all people in the state who own land. If you own land in the state of Yap, this template applies to you. And as elected officials of the state of Yap, the legislature has the responsibility to conduct public awareness as much as possible so that people know what is being offered, whether or not that becomes the final document. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Thank you very much, Chelsea, for making the remind those who are perhaps maybe questioning the work of the committee, thanks for those explanations. The committee did not really feel that they have to educate everybody as to what they're doing, but the comments nevertheless welcome. The committee is just go on and providing what it's doing at the present time, which is holding a public hearing on this particular matter. Any other comments? Go ahead,